Hi, I'm Jeserey, and I'm on the Nico Blitz Podcast.
Oh my God, is that Nico Blitz?
Nico Blitz Podcast. I believe by the time we are dropping this one, it is 2022. So happy 2022, everybody. However, I met my next guest back in 2021. Both her and I actually just did the Los Angeles Kings game, and then I ran into her at this Kumu One Down media event literally a couple days ago, and it just seems like for the past month, even though Filipino Heritage Month is back in October, I feel like December and November was definitely an extension of that. So without further ado, shout out to my next guest, Jeserey Sanchez, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Nico.
Of course. It's cool whenever Roslyn from Mixed Global, she puts all us Filipinos together in just this cluster of events.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's always cool just meeting people like yourself, because I'm always like, I never really know where the other Filipinos are.
But it's like once we're in one area, we're like, it's like we know of each other. Like all of us kind of seen each other at one point, whether it's like on social media or other people's like videos or whatever it may be. And then like, okay, it's nice to put like the face to the name, even though we kind of already knew it in a sense, you know?
Exactly.
It's like such a small world. And I tell my mom this all the time, where it's like, oh, this person's from the Bay Area. It's like, it's most of us are literally from the Bay Area. Like I have it. It's so nice. Just like one, we're all Filipino, and then two, we're from the Bay Area, and it's just like already that common ground that we all have.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, the Filipino Bay Area thing, I feel like outside of the actual Philippines, the Bay Area is the second most Filipino-infested area in the world.
100%.
So
100%.
Well, 1,000%. 1,000%. You got 1,000. Come on, man. I mean,
we got like Union City. We got Daly City.
Oh my God.
I mean, I guess all of the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Daly City definitely has more Filipinos than Union City, but I would say Union City definitely is up there in the top 3 cities.
For sure. My cousins went out to James Logan, and I'm sure you've heard of that high school.
Oh, yeah. James Logan. They got like 1,500 kids. I don't know how.
Dude, they have like a class. They have a Filipino class.
What?
Yes.
That's lit.
I know. I took Spanish. I wish I could have took Filipino class. I think I would have aced that. I would have taken all 3 if it went 1, 2, 3. No, Spanish because
Yeah.
I dropped out of Spanish 3. I was like,
Yeah, no, see, I ended up taking Italian in high school because all they offered was Spanish and Italian, and I'm just like, all right. I kind of wanted to be the outlier and be like, I don't need to learn Spanish. I'll just do
I'm going to try Italian.
Exactly. But it's kind of cool that, but that was in James Logan, yeah? They had the Tagalog class. Mm-hmm. Did you go to Logan too?
No, I actually went to school in Tracy.
That's hella far.
I know. I try not to tell people as much as I can, but now I guess everyone knows.
Shout out to Tracy, California. I don't know what's out there.
Cows.
That's it.
And all of the Bay Area, pretty much. I mean, I moved out there for high school, essentially, because my parents didn't want me to go to school in the Bay. It was either that or I go to a private school. So it was more so for, like, the school district and whatnot. But I want to say, like, a lot of people that went to school in Tracy moved from the Bay Area.
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like everybody's moving out of the Bay Area anyway. It's just, like, way too infested. So, okay. But you were born in the U.S., yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So born in the U.S., moved to Tracy in high school, and then I think I read somewhere at 17 you moved to L.A.?
Yeah. So literally the week after I turned 18, I moved out here for school, for college. So I studied musical theater out here in Hollywood.
Oh, that's lit.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to AMDA.
I don't even know it. AMDA?
Yeah.
What?
It stands for the American Dramatic Academy for the Performing Arts. American Dramatic Academy, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually lit. So we actually kind of have a same background. I ended up moving out here back in 2014 for college.
Oh, so you've been out here for a minute.
I've been out here for a minute. What year did you move here?
2012.
Oh, so we're super close.
Yeah.
Okay, we're super close. Okay, this is fucking lit, by the way.
Yeah.
So I have this conversation a lot. I'm not sure if, and I pray to God, I've told my mom this, but I'm not entirely sure if college was absolutely necessary for my particular career, because, you know, I went in for like communications, radio broadcasting, so on and so forth. And even though that is the career I am in, the real life skills and whatnot didn't necessarily stem from college. It was just all the most basic stuff that I also feel like I could have just learned from being in the field.
For sure.
Do you have a similar
Yes
opinion
and
to
no.
that?
I guess like with me, since I studied music and I did musical theater was like my main focus in college, it was more so my parents were like, okay, if you're doing this, you have to get a degree. It was kind of like, okay, you know?
Oh, okay.
And it was like, okay, if you're moving to LA, this is what you're doing. Because initially my parents were like, you can go to San Jose State, you can go to SF State, and you can go to Sac State. Pick one. And myself, I was like, okay. So I got into all the, those state schools, applied to a school in LA just so it's like, I came from a very, very traditional Filipino background, strict parents, I'm first generation. I don't know if you're first. Yep.
That's me too.
Yeah. So like, I feel like a lot of us are still first generation out here. But I think when I went to school, what I learned most was probably from my vocal teacher. But otherwise, the rest of it, do I wish my parents saved their money on me on school? Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And I think that's the key factor to all my ideas in regards to college, because you could have just saved so much money. Like, I mean, college debt is just crazy. I mean, even right now, like, people are pushing Biden to do what he said he would do and, get rid of like that $50K debt. But it's like, that's a lot of money for somebody in their mid-20s to like constantly owe. Granted, the school I went to, Cal State LA, like, we didn't have to throw down too much. And, my parents have been in a little bit more fortunate situation to actually like help pay all of that off. So,
right.
But for the most part, it's a lot more difficult for other people to pay off all that college debt.
Exactly. I mean, I'm the same way. Like, my parents put me through school. So it's just one of those things where I'm also very fortunate that my parents like did all of that. But at the same time, it's like, I could have done it in a 2-year degree.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, we get to say we have a bachelor's. It's like, that's kind of where my parents stood as far as like, well, if you're going to school, you're going to school. But as far as what I learned in school, no shame to AMDA, I'm sure, like,
Yeah, no shame at all. I mean, you know what I mean? But if you picked up, like, a couple things from, like, a vocal coach and whatnot, like, that's pretty hefty.
Yeah, but otherwise, I'm just like, what did I do there? But it was almost like an extension of high school for, like, the music part of it. You know what I mean? It was just like, we all were, like, the star, like, the singers. Like, we were all the star of our high school. We were one of the stars of our high school. You just took all those stars from every high school and then you just threw us all in.
Just clumped them all together.
Because we had cliques. We had the dancers, we had the musical theater, and then we had dance. Dance, I say dance already? Dance, acting, and musical theater.
Okay, so then where were you? Because you're like model, actor, singer. Like in high school, like where were you? Because I felt like you were one of those people who could kind of just like float around amongst crowds.
I definitely did. Definitely just
okay, see,
around.
that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
But it's like, I love to sing. So it's just, I definitely was like in choir for 4 years. And then my junior year of high school is when I was like, oh, musical theater is kind of cool. Because, for certain, had I stayed in the Bay Area, I feel like it was one of those things where it's like, not the coolest thing because you're like a theater nerd or whatever. So, but then I did it in high school. I was Belle. So I was an Asian Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So that was like the very first like musical theater thing that I've ever done.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Look at that Asian American representation in freaking
I'm like waiting
all the
for
Disney
it.
stuff.
I'm waiting for it.
No, but that's freaking lit though. So would you say that was kind of like what sparked this entertainment route for you?
Yes, and the musical theater, yes.
Okay.
But I started singing when I was 7, so that was always just a thing for me. Like, I've always loved to sing, so that just was always like a passion of mine. But of course, like, up until high school, it should have stayed a passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
your mom was probably like, I know you can get 100 on karaoke. However, you got to do this other shit.
Exactly. It was like nursing. You need to do it.
Yeah, it's man, I hate that box. I really hate that box. I mean, fortunately, I wasn't put in a situation where my parents wanted to like put me in that. They kind of just said like, figure it out. But I will admit, like when I did first move out here and after I graduated, there was like that summer where I was trying to find a job so desperately, but then like nowhere was taking me, and I made sure that it was a job germane to radio and broadcasting. Outside of that, they were just like, well, if you can't find shit, you got to move back.
Exactly. It was the same thing for me. It's like after college, my parents were like, okay, well, we let you do what you wanted to do. If you want to stay out there, you got to figure it out. So that's kind of like where I was after. So I was kind of like in a sense, soul searching for a little bit because I graduated, I was only 20. So,
what the hell?
Yeah, because I did like a straight through thing.
Oh, like you did all the summers and whatnot.
I did all the summers, and I also I didn't graduate high school early, but I was like one of the younger ones. Like I turned 18 after I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was like, I was only 20. I turned 21 that same year, but trying to figure it out. Almost went back home, and then a part of me was like, there's nothing to do in the Bay. There's nothing to do back home. I can't sing there. I can't like do my auditions. I can't do any of that. But like for the grace of God and the support of my family, obviously, I'm still here, like powering through. Yeah,
so then how did you power through during those years after college? Because as a 20-year-old in Los Angeles, after graduating college, I think the biggest question is like, what do you do after that?
I guess like, I'm
like,
not going to say my age.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. I mean, I feel like if you guys did the math, you'll know. But I just turned 27, so it's just like, from 20 up until I want to say 22, it was like trying to figure it out, trying to do auditions. And for the longest time in school, they would tell us like, you can't work full time. You guys can't do that because you won't be able to focus on auditions. So it's like, we're here like 3 girls to a 1-bedroom apartment. Like it humbles you. Like it literally is just like, to now I still have a roommate. Don't get me wrong. LA's expensive.
Super expensive.
Let me just like, it's
not as expensive as the Bay Area though. Let me tell you that.
1,000%, yes. But before I trail off, it's just like, honestly, like I had those breakdowns. I had those mental where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to move back home. I'm just go back to school and like do what my parents told me to do. But I mean, every time I felt like I was about to give up, there would always be something that would come up. There would always be like, I'd book a gig or I'd book like a singing, like anything. And then that just kept pushing me. I was like, damn, like I was about to go home, but now this is like on my plate. And then kind of like going back to what we were talking about with like Rosalind and like meeting all the Filipino Americans and everything like that. I met so many people along the way in my early 20s. Like I met AJ Raphael, like amazing person, amazing artist. And I met him when I was like 21 at like a Miss Saigon audition.
So random. That's random.
Super random. And we were so sad about it because that show actually got canceled. But before we even knew if we got casted. But yeah, it's like stuff like that. Like that happened like my early 20s where I was actually living in the IE. I was living in the Inland Empire for about a year with my dad's brother.
Okay.
So I was there for a little bit. Was nice. Didn't have to pay rent. Like it was great. But I would drive for the longest time. I was driving up and down from the IE to LA for doing princess parties, going to do auditions. Just like, it was just like, I think what like the drive of like getting that one gig every time or getting that callback and then finally getting that gig. But honestly, even the callback itself, you sit back and like, damn, there was like hundreds and hundreds of people that they saw, but I got chosen to do that callback. So that's what just like kept me going in my like early 20s. I was like, you know what, like I'm here. I got chosen for a reason. And like, even till this day, like that's kind of what I'm been telling myself is just like not giving up, I guess. Like that's what just kept me going. It's like, okay, well, if I go back home, okay, then what now? Like,
yeah,
you know?
It's just like, you know, if you were just going to like sit around like while not being at home, like what's the difference going to be when you actually do go home, you know?
Exactly.
Like you're just going to be sitting around over there too. And I think, you know, one of the biggest misconceptions is that like, I feel like when people move to LA, it's like, all right, everything's just going to happen now. But like, it's that idea of not giving up. But with that too, I'm sure you've been in this situation too, where, you know, it's always good to get gig after gig after gig, especially when you're in your mid 20s or even, you know, like younger 20s and you're still trying to figure everything out. But the difficult part that comes with that too is that sometimes these gigs don't even pay too much. Oh, so you're still like struggling even though you do get a next gig.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, oh my God, that just gives me like the worst flashbacks where it's like, do it for the experience. Like we can give it to you for experience. And then I finally came to that realization. I want to say like when I was like 24, 25, I'm like, I have enough experience. I'm good. Like, they're literally be like, well, you can put this on your resume. You can do this, you can do that. I'm like, but sis, I can do it. So either like you pay my rate or you don't. And it's just like, so I feel like, especially for you and I, since we came out here like 2012, 2014, like social media wasn't really a thing yet.
Yeah.
So for us, it was just like really just grinding on it. But then as social media came about, like, it just added like another thing to like, all right, fuck, now we got to get into this too. It's like, excuse my language, but just, I feel like, but it's been like a great thing and a bad thing at the same time, but more so of a good thing because it just created this whole network for us. So I feel like that's where I was like, okay, well, now I have this to maybe, like, it's given me work. Like, it's something that, like, people are now seeing us, like, more and more. And now, like, what you said with, like, the Asian Americans and stuff, too, it's like we're creating this platform for, like, the new generation. Because, I mean, for the longest time, I'm like, I have to post this, I have to do that.
But, you know, I mean, if everyone, how do I explain this? If you knew at the end of the day that, let's say you're posting, right? Let's say that if you knew at the end of the day, like 5 years from now, that every single one of your posts just added up to like one of the biggest moments of your life, then you would look back and be like, I'm glad I did all that shit. Yeah. Even though like at this point in time, it's like, we're not entirely sure if everything what we're doing actually matters for what happens 5 years from now. We kind of just hope it does. But at the same time, we're also just like, you know what? This is what I know is working now, because especially as a model, it's like you have to, you know, post your photos like all the freaking time, and you have to put yourself out there, because if you don't, it's like you're just going to get lost in the sauce with everybody else who is taking advantage of the number one marketing tool that you have, like literally, I don't even know where my phone is, but literally in your hands. Like if I told you that this was your key to all your success later down the line,
would not believe it.
You wouldn't believe it.
Would not believe it. Not at all. Like, Instagram was like not even a thing. Like when I was in college, like it was a thing. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what it was,
or what it is right now,
or what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, what it is. Like, it's just so crazy to me, because when you're trying to like get an agent and everything like that, because that's still a thing, obviously, but now like I've gone into like certain auditions where they literally ask you for like your following. Yeah. I
mean, granted, your following's cool.
I mean, I'm working on it. I'm working on it really hard. But it's just like, I'm literally just, sometimes I'll watch the stuff I post. I'm like, God, this is so cringy. Like, why did I do that? But
I
like,
feel it.
It's fine.
Do you ever feel like, because I feel like the work ethic that yourself, myself, and the other couple of creatives like have right now, I feel like if it was like simply just work ethic and we were our age, like 20 years ago or so, I feel like we'd be like fucking booming.
I feel like that too, because I feel like the people that really utilize it now, it's like, damn, why didn't I think to do that then? Especially because now, on the topic of like Instagram and all that stuff, I've been trying to get my name, my username. Like, I think about it when we created Instagram, like, why did I think my Instagram name at one was like Jess Baby with like 2 A's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't I just put my damn name? Because now it's gone and I can't get it.
Wait, what's your IG right now?
It's Jeserey Sanchez. So it's my full name.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the longest time I just wanted Jezree, because because I try to like do just like my single name, because it has my mom's name and it has my dad's name. So my mom's name's Jessica, my dad's name is Ray. So it's like they both get a piece of me already. I don't need to add my last name.
It's like, if you know, you know.
Exactly. So like, oh sorry, but like with the Sanchez, I always felt like it sounded like a news reporter. Like,
okay, yeah, I get you.
Like, the way my name flows, there's actually a news reporter in the Philippines with the last name Sanchez. Like, and so I always like correlated it to that. Like, I'm like, I just wanted to be
like, I promise you I don't want to be a freaking news reporter.
It's just like, hi, my name is Jeserey Sanchez. Like, it's just very, and there's so many syllables.
Okay, yeah, okay. Now it all makes sense, because when we were doing the LA Kings thing, it was actually kind of lit doing like the what do you call it? Not the pre-booking, not the pre-show. God damn. See, this is what happens when you have like so much shit to do and you're just forgetting words. It's the show before the show, the freaking practice round, the fucking oh my God, yo.
I don't know.
I am
Is it pre-show?
Sound check. Sound check.
You mean
Jesus
right
Christ.
before a show?
Yeah, right before the show. Oh my God, yo, I'm blanking out. My bad.
Like,
but yeah, like the sound check. So when they were doing the sound check for you, they said, introducing Jezree. And I'm like, Jeserey.
Yeah.
Jeserey.
I think I'm still getting used to it because like I sang at the Laker game in for Halloween, and they're like, "Do you want Sanchez?" I was like, "Well, it's up to them. Whatever's easier for them." They're like, "Well, what do you want?" And I'm like, "Crap, I don't know. Just whatever comes out of their mouth, I guess."
So you want to go with Jeserey?
I do want to go with Jezree.
Okay.
Usually that's like what I'll do, but sometimes I'll still add the Sanchez there. I don't know. It kind of just depends, but I like just Jezree. I do like it like that. So we'll see.
We're just gonna keep on going with Jeserey then. I think the YouTube title is still gonna say Jeserey Sanchez, but I'll make sure it's like, hey, just call her Jeserey.
I feel like it's so easy to like. That's the one thing. It's like it's good and a bad thing. It's like my name is so different, so it's easy to find me once you put Jezree.
That's true.
But the Sanchez does help because more often than not, I'm pretty sure it's happened to you. If anything, if you type my name, it'll autocorrect it to Jersey.
You know what? I think I looked back at one of our text messages and I might have accidentally sent Jersey.
And then like at this point, I don't even notice. Because like even like, because I get it sometimes because it's just an R and an S like switched.
Yeah.
With an extra E in my name.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes when I'm writing too, and I'm like, oh, I definitely wrote Jersey for my own name, but it's fine.
Well, shouts out to Jeserey Sanchez one time. Speaking of jerseys, like the freaking Filipino American night jerseys that Roslyn hooked us up with were so freaking fire.
Oh, yeah.
But I did see you've been doing like a shit ton of like Filipino heritage nights.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I didn't even realize like you were saying like
you're honestly like the queen of that right now. I'm like, like she's done well, as you were saying, the Lakers. Did you do Dodgers at one point?
No, so I didn't do Dodgers. Jules actually did Dodgers. So she did.
Jules did Dodgers.
Yeah,
okay.
She did the Dodgers, but I did Giants. So I represented home.
Hey, I'd rather get the Giants. You feel me?
Represented home. It was actually against the Dodgers too.
Hey.
So when I was there, I was like, I mean, LA's been our home for a while, but like you LA people, wild.
Ooh, she wants the LA smoke right now. Look, my girl's a Dodgers fan, so I kind of can't even say nothing about this.
That's
and
okay.
she got me a gig for the Dodgers, so I'm over here just like, all right, whoever pays me right now, that's what I'm loyal to. I don't really care.
You're right. I mean, like Lakers had booked me like twice already to do the anthem. And
that's lit. Okay. So then, which one would you say has been like your favorite between like Giants, Lakers, Kings? Like, because you've done so much.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I feel like I can't tell a favorite. Then they're not going to ask me to sing anymore.
Look, they're all on different sports. It don't matter. You got the hockey team. You got the basketball team.
That's true. I mean, I think my favorite so far has to be the Lakers one that I did recently, just because the atmosphere is like, it's so different when you're center. When you're center court, it's just a different feeling. And like, I was kind of scared because I didn't have an earpiece. And I was like, okay, wow, like the echo's gonna be so bad. Because I sang for the Warriors once, but this was during COVID. And so they weren't even having fans in yet. So I didn't have an earpiece, sang there, and I'm just like worried about the echo, et cetera, et cetera. But I sang in the middle, and you like don't even hear like any echo because of how many people like are in the stands. And just like I said, like as much as I be hating on you LA like fans and everything, y'all so faithful. I'm just saying, like, you guys are loud, you guys are there, like, it's just, everybody's so present. So I think, like, the Laker game might be, like, my favorite, like, so far. Until the Warriors book me for that, then we'll see.
Hey, look, I'm kind of with that, too, if I'm being honest. You know what's cool? I thought to myself, and I don't know if you read the post that I did in regards to LA Kings games, but you, myself, and E-Rock, and every other Filipino involved in that night, like, we were the last ones before it transitioned from Staples Center to Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah, it was. I think because they still had it actually on the
Yeah, they still had Staples Center branding everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be so weird. I didn't even think about that. Oh.
But can you because you get what I'm saying? Like it's kind of a big deal because I'm like, damn, this is where
that has to sink in for me now because I didn't even occur.
See?
Yeah.
I'm saying
that's gonna be really different when it turns into crypto. I'm
kind of with it. Are you into crypto?
I don't really know anything about it.
That's fair.
You know, I'm not gonna like all the. That's what is it? What's the other stuff?
NFTs.
Don't know that stuff either. There's another one.
The metaverse.
I can't remember, but like I have apps on my phone, but usually I have my boyfriend do them all. I'll be like, hey, this is how much money you can put in. Go crazy. Trust me. I still give him so much crap for selling my Dogecoin.
Damn.
He was like, oh, just sell it, just sell it.
Wait, how much did you have?
I don't remember, but it was like, he did it the beginning of like January of this year. So
he sold your Doge at the beginning of January?
Yep. And then it went all crazy. And then I was like, I texted him, I was like, what did you do that? He was like, oh, I just thought this and this. I was like, and so I still have it there, and it's not doing hot, but I was like, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I barely put money back in there, so leave it alone.
I'm so sad for you both, honestly. Because my boy, literally, he just bought he bought his own restaurant using all crypto.
Let's plug his restaurant
opens
right quick.
It's called Bagel Exchange.
Oh.
Yeah, in Alhambra.
Okay, that's not even far from us.
Yeah, not too far. But, you know, it's actually reality, and I feel like it's always important to at least mention crypto because it's like, dude, like, this is literally, I mean, it's the future, but it's also right now.
Exactly. Yeah, because I try, like, you know, like, try to figure it out, but I really don't know much about it. So I was like, hey, can you just put money into it and see what happens? But, yeah.
How long have you and your boyfriend been together?
We've been together for about a year and a half now, almost.
Okay.
Yeah, we started dating last June, so almost-ish, like a year.
You know, that's kind of cool because me and my girl started officially dating around like July of last year.
Okay, so yes.
Pandemic relationship. Yes. Let's go.
We met on Hinge. How did you guys
Wait,
meet?
Hinge? What is Hinge?
I love that for you. You don't know what Hinge is?
I don't know what Hinge is. Is it like
dating app.
Is it like a Tinder grinder type thing?
A grinder.
Well, okay, not like Grinder, but I'm saying it's like a dating app, so it's like Tinder, farmers meat.
It's
like a Filipino meat.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not. He knows. Like, I've never like dated like Filipinos before, but
oh wait, he's not Filipino?
No, he is. I'm saying I've never in the past.
There we go.
But no, it's they market it as the app designed to be deleted, the dating app designed to be deleted. I literally did a sponsorship for it. That's what I was like, wait, what is it called?
Okay, so let me get this straight. So it's the app. So basically, the goal is you're absolutely going to find your person on here. Therefore, after you find this person, you're going to delete the app. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, we met like during. During the pandemic. I was home actually, so I literally was home for like that whole stay-at-home order. Like I wasn't even in LA.
Oh,
yeah. So the Friday that they announced the whole stay-at-home order for like a week, right? It was supposed to be a week. Yeah. It's supposed to be a week or something like that. And then so my friend was actually going home, also from the Bay Area. So I was like, oh, I'll go home with you for the weekend, and then I'll just fly back. And then that turned into my job being like, oh, we're actually gonna close for another week. And I'm like, okay, so I'll stay home, I guess. Like, that kept staying home week after week. But anyway, downloaded the app, and I was like, okay, we're just gonna like a bunch of stuff or whatever. And then I didn't meet him until I came back in June. And it just turned out that he was actually from San Francisco.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
That's
he
what's
went
up.
to San Jose State, but he's been out here for 2 years. So he's like new to LA still.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
How's the because I have this conversation with my friend Twee. She's an artist over here in LA, and she's, I mean, over the pandemic, she's been like blowing up on like TikTok, and her music has actually gotten like super popping, right? So there's like a new level of I guess fame that she's had to adjust to. And even for myself too, it's just like now it's just like clubs everywhere, like gigs over here, and it's like my job and your job is actually to like know as many people as we can, because like networking is so damn important. So I mean, I'm not sure what your boyfriend does, but it's like, how does that relationship dynamic work for you guys? Because this industry that we're in is very focused on the amount of people that we know, like
the limelight and everything. Yeah, no, for sure. So he's completely not even in like the arts or anything like that. And I personally love it because it's like a nice, like, you know, it's like a nice balance, like even with life and everything too. But I mean, even with dating like another artist, it's like, it's different. Like it's different when you do all that. But I mean, it's been great so far, but it's been different as far as like for him, like when I have to go to events and stuff, like I'll tell him like, okay, so I have to like talk to all these people, like, and he's super, not super, but he's introverted and I'm super extroverted. Like you can put me in a room and I'll like just talk your head off. Like I'll find something to talk about. Like it's one of those things, you know, but I'm sure you're the same way. Like I can't sit in silence. Like we had like he had this random comment that like sticks with me. Like we were in the elevator and I'll just be like, "Okay, have a great day." Like to whoever was in the elevator. He was like, "You just can't like not say anything." I was like, "It's awkward. We're going up the elevator. Like you have to say something."
Oh my God.
But,
yeah, you do. Because I far like even like that little thing can just go a far way with whoever you're talking to.
Exactly. You never know who's in the elevator with you. You gotta network everywhere.
Well, that's why I made sure I wanted to bring this up on the podcast, because when we went to the Kumu One Down Media event, I like needed to use the restroom.
Okay.
So then as soon as I sat down, I was like, oh, the seat was freaking warm. So you didn't use the restroom? You did not use the restroom over at the event?
There's a women's restroom.
Yeah, but also I'm assuming the women's restroom also had this like toilet seat warmer.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay. I'm here like...
She's like, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Oh, like, wait.
Let me...
Yeah. They have like the... Yes.
Yeah, they had the toilet. Yeah, they had the toilet seat warmers. It was like built into the toilet. Yes. So I'm over here texting my girl. I'm like, oh my God, this is like revolutionary. Like I'm not trying to get up off this damn toilet seat. So as soon as I stepped out from the toilet or from the restroom, I was going up to people and I was like, hey, bro, you taking a shit yet? Have you taken a shit yet?
Well, I squat when I pee in public. Like, I try not to even sit on the toilet seats. Yeah.
You should have sat on the toilet seat.
Yeah, but you don't know who sat there.
Yeah, but then that's why you use like 20 of those freaking...
oh, you're right.
Use like 20 of them so you ain't got to touch it really.
So you still felt it through that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I felt the warmth. And then I was saying that to people and then she was like, why are you telling that to people? I'm like, because I know what the fuck I'm doing. Literally somebody in the corner, he was like, hey, bro, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The conversation started.
Yeah,
I get it.
I
get it.
There's just like little ways to go about it as opposed to like, oh, hey. Because, you know, when I first moved out here, the most awkward thing was like, hey, my name is Nico. Mm-hmm. I do this, I do that.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I always hate leading with like, oh, hi, I'm Jezree. I sing. Like,
it gets repetitive and it's kind of just
like... It does. And yeah, like kind of like what you were asking, like with like the relationship dynamic and stuff. Like he's gotten so much better with it. Like, because I told him about like the podcast. He was like, get me on there. And I was like, what are you going to say?
Oh, see, and you telling me he's introverted. He want to talk now.
That's what I was like. I literally was like, what are you going to say? Like, he's going to see this and be like, why'd you do me like that?
Oh, my gosh. Shouts out. What's his name again?
His name's Gino.
Shouts out to Gino. Yeah. Love that name, by the way. Shouts out to you, Gino. I appreciate you. God damn, that was fucking funny. That was a good event, though. Have you thought about like hopping on Kumu?
I actually have.
Okay.
Yeah, ever since we did that, I was talking to Tessa and Leo about it, and I was like, okay, well, if I decide to do it, can I do it here? They're like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, let's just see how it goes. I didn't realize how it's like really a Philippine-based app because I was getting notifications and they were in Tagalog.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't even know that. I've had it downloaded for a minute.
Yeah, I had it downloaded. I didn't have an account though. Like I just downloaded it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I remember someone told me like you should download this app, blah blah blah. Like it's like based in the Philippines, and I'm like okay. And then when I got invited to sing for the charity event, I was gonna download it, and then it says open app, and I'm like, when the heck did I download this app? And I open it, I'm like, I guess I've had it, but yeah, we'll see. I want to try it out.
Yeah, because I feel like you can do just singing content on there, really.
Just sing in Tagalog and just see how it goes.
Do you speak Tagalog too?
I do.
That's good.
Do you?
I konte lang. That's all I know.
See those TikTok trends where it's like that Nicki Minaj thing's like, are you a Nicki fan? Have you seen that TikTok?
Oh yeah.
But it'll be like, are you Filipino? It's like, am I a Nicki fan? And like, and they'll say like, yeah.
I feel it.
No, yeah, it was my first language.
But you were born here?
I was born in Hayward.
Oh man, you're like super Filipino. I gotta say that. So wait, how was even Tagalog your first language?
My parents just didn't want us to speak English in the household.
What the hell?
Yeah, so it was like if I spoke in English, my dad would answer back in Tagalog, being like, I don't understand you in Tagalog. So that we would repeat what we said in our language, just so we wouldn't forget it.
He'd be like, hindi ako intindihan.
Almost. Hindi kita naiintindihan.
Ah, see. Yeah. See, I was close. See? I was close.
Yeah.
Have you been back to the Philippines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last time I was home was in 2018, and I actually did a pageant. fun.
Oh, go on about this pageant.
So fun.
Her face says it all, by the way, for the people who are just listening to this.
I know. I was like, do I want to go into detail? I mean, it was an experience. I'll say that. It was definitely an experience for me. I had the opportunity to represent Northern California. So it was a pageant called Mutya ng Pilipinas, and it was a pageant that actually welcomed a lot of overseas candidates. So there was a lot of us there was a girl from Iceland, Australia, there was 3 of us from California, and so there was like Florida. So we all went there, and I was there for a month. So of just strictly just all these sponsorships, like all like these meetings, and just, it's just like, it's a different world. Pageantry is I give those girls all props. I love watching like Miss Universe, and I love our country winning and everything, but it definitely, like, I guess like the negative part for me was just, it's a different world as far as like the standard of beauty back home, which I feel like you can, you know what I'm talking about. But it was, for me, I was like, okay, well, I kind of miss getting tan. I like to eat whatever I want, you know? And it's just, with like arts, with like singing and like music and what we do, it's more like, it's like a bunch of moving blocks. Like we all kind of all fit together. And that's what I love about like what we do, because we all kind of just like fit together, and we all like, there's no harm in like ever saying someone's name in a room type of thing. But with the pageantry, it was like, it was a sisterhood, but also at the same time, you knew you were competing against each other.
So then you eventually know you kind of have to stab somebody in the back.
It was not stab each other in the back, but it's just like, you just knew that's like, there could only be one winner. You know, I mean,
it's a
like,
competition.
It's a competition, yeah. But I mean, I get that with like there was singing competitions and stuff like that. But I feel like with that, there's always room for people to shine. And I guess for me, for that was just like, I could only feel like I have to look a certain way all the time. It was like whenever I stepped out of the room, you had to look like.
I feel you on that, because I'll literally go up to my white friends and I'll be like, you know, in the Philippines, they treat you like a god. And they're just like, what do you mean? I'm like, bro, if you literally, the second you land, everyone's just going to be like praising you.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, there's even a thing where it's like light-skinned Filipinos and dark-skinned Filipinos. And what a lot of people don't realize is that, like, especially in the Philippines, beauty is more so seen toward the light-skinned Filipinos.
Yeah, because definitely there was, funny enough, I actually tried to do this pageant 3 years prior. So it was something that was like brought to me, like, oh, you should join a pageant because like I'm tall, all that, you know, like the criteria that they have.
I'm tall? Yeah, because the average Filipino woman had like 5 foot.
Exactly. They're like, you're like really tall. Are you half white? Actually not 100%, for the most part, 100% Filipino. But it was one of those things like, oh yeah, I'll try it out and everything. And they're like, yeah, like you just have to like, if you get lighter, like you just get like a little lighter. And I'm like, huh? Like they literally do like glutathione shots in the Philippines. Like
wait, Gluta what?
Glutathione, like Gluta. It makes your skin white. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or like the soap, like whitening soaps.
Yeah, because I've heard like the whitening soap and the whitening lotion. I didn't realize there's actually things where you can inject in your body.
Or like it's like an IV. Like you can have like IVs too. Mm-hmm.
What? To lighten your skin?
Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I would tell like, you know, like the other girls that I mean, now it's like, I love like the movement as far as here where like Morena is like tanner, like Filipinos. I'm like, there's literally nothing wrong, but it's like, you know, you can't just change like how something's been for so long.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not even just the Philippines, like Korea, like there's like different, there's still countries out there that like really, there's like a certain standard of beauty. And I'll tell them like when I was in the Philippines, I was like, you know how many of like my friends go to tanning salons to get to our color? They pay to look like us.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
You know, like they pay to get tan. But, you know, I mean, it was an experience nonetheless. I was happy I did it. But is it for me? No.
Yeah, no. I mean, because I feel like at least from my perspective and my understanding of all of this is because when, you know, even when the Philippines was almost taken over by Spaniards, it's like, you know, if the more you looked like fairer skin, I mean, this goes back to like racism in general. It's like the more fairer skin you had, it just seemed like the more power you had because those were the people who were in power. So then when you translate that with like the beauty, it's in my understanding, it's like a little bit of racism that was just bled into our culture. And, unfortunately, it affects beauty. It affects, the way you look, like, for the most part, affects how everybody looks at you.
Yeah. I feel like that's even for what we do in general.
Yeah.
It's like they're going to see, it's like kind of like even with relationships and stuff, it's like you're attracted to looks and you stay because of like personality and all that. Yeah,
for sure.
Like that's just like the reality of it. But definitely like, with the Spaniards and everything too. But I'm still thankful for them, I guess. Like we look nice.
Yeah. We're cool.
Like we good. Like
We cool. So do you get into you went to school for like musical acting and whatnot, but like when do you get into like the modeling realm of everything?
I did the modeling thing, I want to say just like shortly after I graduated. So I figured, I was like, okay, well, now it's becoming a thing where you have to do everything. Like you just have to do everything.
Yeah.
And the agency that I was first signed to out here, it was like predominantly, if not all, like for Asian and Pan Asians. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. But also like for me, I was like, I want to, be seen a little more because you kind of get into that mix. But it was there where I started doing the modeling with that agency. They're like, okay, well, let's try like and see if you like it. And I used to think like, oh yeah, this will be easy. You just like stand in front of a camera and you just like take pictures. Oh my gosh, no. I give models like so much credit. Like it's a lot of work. Like I feel like, cause then you get used to it. You know what faces to make and how to pose and everything like that. Cause I still don't do like any runway or anything like that. It's more so like the print stuff or like commercial like modeling. But I still do it. I try to like audition just like every other actor in LA just to do all like the print modeling and all that good stuff. But I definitely think like when you're out here, it's like you just have to hit every mark. But it's acting, it's dancing, because they ask you if you can do everything. Like it's just one of those things. Yeah. Like every time, if we talk about musical theater wise, once you get into a room, they're like, oh, are you a dancer? And a lot of us will be like, I'm a mover. I can move. Because I'm not about to be like, I'm a dancer, then asked to do like a triple pirouette. Like,
yeah, I could do one of these, The
little TikTok dances.
Yeah, the little TikTok dances. Yeah, you check out my TikTok. No, but that's that's actually crazy to know, because I didn't even realize like that was basically encapsulated all within modeling. Would you say that's like the biggest misconception? Like it's beyond just like taking photos and looking good?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I know like, I feel like everyone, it's so easy to just like be like, look through a page or go scroll through a page and be like, oh, this is easy, just taking pictures. And I'm like, even any girl on Instagram can attest to the fact, like, how long does it take to get that one selfie? Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. No. See, this is a conversation that I don't even want to get into. Shouts out to anyways. No, but I get that. I get that, though, because even when I'll do, like, little photo shoots here and there, like, it takes a while. And I'm over here just like, bro, I'm tired. Like, I'm good off of this now. Yeah,
it takes a lot out of you, like, more than you think, especially because, like, with models, it's that they're modeling for, like, a certain brand. So it's like, it's not even them trying to make themselves look good. It's that, but also trying to make what they're modeling look good. So it's like, it's a lot more work than I even thought. Like I did one, like ad for Glam and Glow. And it was like, just basically like, I'm here trying to make sure I look pretty, but at the same time, it's like, I have zero to no makeup on. So I'm just like, but at the same time, it's like, it's not about my face. It's about the product that you're promoting.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder than like, it's easy when you're just modeling like for yourself. This is what I know to do. This is what I know looks good, et cetera, et cetera. But as far as like that stuff goes, I'm like, it's a lot harder than people think it is. At least for me, I'm like, because before it'd be like one shot and like, I have one shot out of 100. Like, this is great. Like, especially like my very first photo shoot, I was like, we got one good photo. Like, I hate these. Like,
yeah, it's like, dude, we took like 3 hours. You're only giving me one afterwards?
Yeah, like, I'm just like, well, yeah, this is like the like good one. I'm like, oh, come on. Like,
yeah, see, and that's a realm I'm just never personally going to get into. But kudos to you for doing that, by the way. But, I feel like, as you were saying, being in LA especially and just trying to make a career out of yourself, like, I feel like you have to be good at so many different things in order to catapult your career, because, the way I see it, let's say modeling doesn't work out. It's like, okay, well, I at least have singing. But then let's say singing doesn't work out. Oh, well, at least I have acting. You know what I mean? And there's like just so many different things that you can, I mean, everything is working in your favor right now, right? But I do feel like you can't always put all your eggs in one basket, because if there's something that I learned from the pandemic is that the second you feel comfortable and you think everything is just so damn good, like literally like one thing, if you put everything in one basket, that one basket could just like freaking break. And then it's like, well, shit, now I have nothing right now.
Exactly. You just have to like stay on your toes. I feel like it's kind of what you said. You just have to just tap into everything. It's like, give yourself the opportunity to learn something new. You know, it's just like, for the longest time, like even with TikTok, for example, like I was like, what is TikTok? Like I didn't know what it was until pandemic. Like she's 21 now, my 21-year-old cousin. I'm like laying next to her in bed. I'm like, what are you scrolling? Like, what are you watching? I just hear the same sounds over and over again. I'm here now, like learning those dances, getting my boyfriend, getting Gino to learn those dances with me. And I'm like, come on, just do it. Like, why if we could become like viral? We can be a viral couple. Just do it with me.
Hey, I mean, look, you got to make it work. You got to make it work somehow. It don't matter how, just make it work.
Exactly. But yeah, it's like one of those things like you just have to like continuously just learn from and like be open to like learning everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think you should be open to learning how to model. You never know.
You feel me?
When they do the little heart.
Yeah, my girlfriend recently just taught me this. I guess it's like a way to say,
oh,
this is a heart.
It's a heart, right?
I don't know.
Because, like, you know how, like, a heart is like this. And so, like, the bottom of the heart. Right? That makes sense.
Like, you'll probably make more sense out of it. I really don't know.
It's like this.
Either way.
I didn't know what it was either, but it's like, you know, they're like Filipinos too.
Oh, okay. I mean, we'll never know. I'm not going to knock it out. But your music, so how long have you been doing that professionally? I think I read somewhere maybe like 2 years. So far?
Yeah, so I started writing music with my producer, DJ Ryan Live is his.
Shout out to Ryan Live. That's my boy. I've never met him in real life, but that's my boy.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, guys, he's awesome.
We met over Twitch.
Oh, okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, so I actually met him, I want to say 2019. Because it was before, pre-pandemic. Yeah, so 2019. And we met through my friend Alan. And he was like, hey, like, there's this producer, like, he's, like, wanting to, like, write music and everything like that. And so we met on, like, 4th of July, I remember. So I had nothing to do that day. I was like, I can come. I was like, let's go. And we were in there till, like, 3 a.m., like, just, like, first, like, talking, getting to know each other and everything. But fast forward to now, we have 2 singles that are currently out.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, like, about 2 or 3 songs still left on the EP to, like, finish up. So it's definitely something super new for me because I never wrote music before. It was always just like either doing covers or the musical theater thing. And for the longest time, it's always like, as much as possible, I wanted to sing Disney songs. Like it's my thing. It's just like my safe zone. It's like, this is what I always loved to sing. And so the harder part of doing the singing and songwriting thing was just like, okay, well, now I have to figure out like what I sound like. What does Jezree sound like? It was that definitely was I feel like that was the biggest challenge for myself was just like, okay, well, I'm not really mimicking anyone. I'm not really covering anyone. This song is my song. So what is my song supposed to sound like? So I feel like, so that's been still like an ongoing challenge, like to be honest with you, like still trying to figure that out where I'm not super like nitpicky because like I said, like I have a musical theater background, like reading music and all of that stuff. I'm here like, okay, well, it doesn't have to go exactly like this. Because when I was in school, it was like, if I went off like one note or something like, no, you weren't supposed to sing that note. You're not supposed to scoop up to that note. Like it's this, like very to the book. So that's definitely something that I enjoy like doing with Ryan where it's just like, just sing. So like now when I'm in the studio, sometimes I'm like, F it, like, let me just go in there and I'll just sing. Like, let's just do it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, back to the conversation, I feel like you were kind of given a guideline and some sort of blueprint when you do go to school and you learn all these things. But at the end of the day, it's like if everybody's being taught that exact same way, it actually prevents you from being you. Mm-hmm. And you're literally just a copy and paste version of the other people that they just taught.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned that too, because like I said, like I mentioned, like my vocal teacher in college. And when she first heard me sing, she's like, you sing like from the back of your throat. So it's like more like I guess like a singing term or whatever. But she was just like, I guess she looked into like Filipinos and like the way we sing and stuff like that. She was like, you know what I found out about you? It's just like, you guys are really good at mimicking. Like, you guys are really good at imitating like that. And I'm just like, what? I was like, oh my God. I was like, we low-key kind of are though. You know, if you think about all the amazing like Filipino singers, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, it does sound like the original, damn near. Like,
and sometimes better.
And sometimes better. More often than not, better. Yeah, you're right. And that was something that clicked on me. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. But it's like, that's how a lot of us learn to sing. I feel like we listened to singers and we sang like them. Like, that's just how it was. But it never occurred to me that it was like something that was like holding me back from like actually singing like as myself.
You know what? Initially, when you told me that comment that your teacher made, I was kind of offended.
I was too. I was just like, imitating. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. But now that we're having this, I've never thought of that because we are very good. And it makes me think about like why, you've done covers with AJ on YouTube already and you've done your own covers as well. And I'm just like, this shit is so fucking fire. Like, and I always think to myself like, well, how come people in the Filipino community aren't like they're popping in the community, but they're not like popping like in the world.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, like, let's just say what your teacher said is a fact, that Filipinos are just naturally good at mimicking people when we sing. Then yeah, like, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to get past that other than, I don't know, maybe just create your own stuff. But then 9 times out of 10, it's like, I would rather hear someone do a cover, a Filipino person. I would rather hear them do a cover than like an original song. Unfortunately, right now, you know.
I mean, I feel like that's why, like, I don't know, like, because when I listen to like OPM, like original Philippine music, it's just like, I mean, I grew up on that. Like, I literally grew up on that.
Some Christian Bautista.
Oh my gosh, love him. The way you look at me?
I think so.
Yeah, that's like one of his like.
I literally
songs.
just picked 2 random names and put them together. No, I'm just
You're
playing.
lying.
I'm totally kidding.
I was like, really? I was like, wait.
Oh, shit.
No, oh my gosh. Like, I literally grew up on them. Like, I literally grew up on them, just like all like the singing contests. That's why I wanted to be a pop. I remember I was leaving like the Marina Square in San Leandro with my mom in the car. And she was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think I was like 8, like, or something like that, like 8 or 7 or something. And she was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, I want to be a pop star. Just because that's literally what they would call themselves. You know how they have like their names? Yeah. So they were, I think, my all-time favorite was like Sarah Geronimo, and she's like she's like the princess of pop or something. I forget. But she definitely had like one of those titles. But like just going back to like what she had said, I was like, wow, like I guess you're right. But I think it's more so when we are imitating, but then I was also young, so I feel like there was a lot to do with that too. But like then going back to like now writing music, and I'm like, damn, like I have no one to imitate. I have no one to but myself. So I mean, it's going good so far, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Which would you say you have the most fun with? Because you act, you sing, you model. Which one do you have the most fun with?
Singing 100%. It's just a different feeling. Like, I get super nervous. Like, when people ask, like, do you get nervous? I'm like, yeah, how do you not get nervous? Like, sometimes I'm just like, is that a real question? Like, yes, I get nervous. Like, I'm singing in front of thousands of people that are just, like, standing there looking at me.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, the minute that I start singing, it's just like, oh, it's like a different, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, like, I'm just doing what I love to do, and then, like, just getting the great feedback, obviously, like, from the people. I'm just like, okay, like, I guess I'm doing something that people actually like to listen to. So I think it would definitely still be singing. Like, modeling's fun, acting's fun, but definitely, like, that's why I loved musical theater so much, because as much as people are like, they sing too much, like, when they do musicals into, like, movies, and I'm like, words aren't enough, so we sing. Like, that's just, like, kind of how it goes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you said singing, too, because on my TikTok, we actually have this segment where I do top 3 karaoke songs with everybody. Look, now she looked nervous. Now she looking like I don't want to sing no more. She's like, did I say singing? I was
like, I meant modeling. Actually, I don't have to say anything when I model. I just make faces, literally, like RBF straight. Like,
she's like, I gotta go now, yo. I gotta leave. So you ready? You ready for the challenge? You gotta sing all the songs.
Gosh, okay, let's go.
All right. Nico Blitz Podcast, top 3 karaoke songs with Jeserey.
Okay. Do I just like sing whatever?
You just go.
Okay.
Numero uno.
Okay. A whole new world.
Woo!
A dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Can we just say, like, I think Princess Jezree is better than Princess Jasmine in this particular situation?
I love that. Thanks.
Numero dos. Okay, that was the most show-offy thing that anyone could have ever done in this segment because she said, in like a very like singer tone.
I didn't even realize I was doing that.
Show off.
Oh my gosh, not even. I didn't even realize I was doing that. So now
I'm fucking with
get
you.
In my head now every time I say like I'm gonna be like, let me make sure I say it off pitch.
Hey Jezree, what do you want for lunch?
I'm not gonna say anymore. Let's just get that straight. I'm gonna get so self-conscious now. I'll be like, I just have to make sure I say it off pitch.
Oh, you're good.
It's gonna be like
I'm totally fucking with you. All right, numero dos.
I feel like this is my mom's favorite song, so. Dancing Queen, feel the beat from the tambourine, oh yeah. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life.
Oh my God. Yo, this is so good.
They're super karaoke songs
This
too.
is so good. And that was like probably one of the most Filipino songs you could have ever picked.
1000%. And my third one is like Tagalog, so that's going to be
Hey, go ahead. I might not understand any of this, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, like, it's Filipino karaoke. They're going to ask you to sing a Tagalog song.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so this is my third one. Kailangan ko'y ikaw dito sa piling ko. Kailangan kong madama ang pag-ibig mo.
I think we should just end. What was that song called?
Kailangan ko ikaw. So it translates to I need you.
Okay. That was lit. That was lit. I want to say that was probably my favorite. You're probably my favorite person who has done this on the podcast. So I'm like so thankful you were able to do that. That was fucking lit.
Thanks. You know, karaoke. I have like 3 at home. Do you have karaoke at home?
Back in the Bay, yeah, not over here.
Oh yeah, not over here, but I have like 3 at home.
That's
Back with
lit.
my parents, yeah.
I usually want to get the ones where it's more modern songs like Usher and all that.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Yeah, literally we have the latest karaoke machine that my parents got when I was in high school. My dad like searched for and had somebody in the Philippines come and bring it when they came. It's called Kumu, and like this specific one you can add like chips to because it was the same thing.
Oh, that's
like
lit.
we wanted like updated songs.
Yeah.
So we have like Usher and all those random songs in
lit.
there. Yeah.
Are you going back to the Bay?
I am.
Okay.
You want me to bring it?
Yeah, and invite me to the family party so I can actually sing that shit.
But now I feel like everybody just has mics and the freaking YouTube. Just throw on YouTube and a microphone.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the
Yeah,
easiest way
the
to go
easiest
about
way
it.
to do
I'm
it
not
now.
tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, that's honestly the best way to go about it because you have like any song choice at that point.
Literally.
Anyways, everybody, this is Jeserey Sanchez. Maybe not Sanchez. I don't know.
It's still Sanchez. We know. We can go either way.
Okay, shouts out to Jeserey. Where can everybody find you? Oh, and when can everybody expect new music from you?
Next year. So hopefully by like springtime, if not sooner, we're going to have this EP done and ready to go on all major platforms. You guys can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Jeserey Sanchez. Still, if Instagram gives me my handle, then it'll just be Jezree. But for now, it's Jeserey at Jeserey Sanchez.
And by the way, by next year, she actually meant this year because this is dropping in 2022.
Right. Oh my gosh, sorry. You're right.
So ain't nobody looking in 2023 spring, you feel me? Look at spring 2022.
So in March of this year, around that time frame, I'm hoping to release my EP by then.
There we go. Jeserey Sanchez, everybody.
Thank you for having me, Nico.
No problem.
Oh my God, is that Nico Blitz?